Welcome everyone to the Pantheon. I am Ray,
And I'm Evie.
and today we're looking at Thor Ragnarok. It's a Taika Waititi film. It's a runtime of 130 minutes. It's rated PG-13. It's part of the MCU Marvel Cinematic Universe. It had multiple writers. A lot of the writers are from are based on actually had 9 writers, 2 of which was the original creators like Stan Lee and Jack Kirby.
hmm
The other 2 were the writers of Planet Hulk, because they're
Yeah.
taking concepts from Planet Hulk and adding it to this movie. So when you listen to our Planet Hulk review, the writers of um, if I get the name correctly, hopefully I got it right. There is David Greg David, I believe his name is. I could be or no, Greg Park. Sorry, Greg Park and Carlo Poggulio, I believe his name is. They wrote Planet Hulk, that series, the actual comic book strip, the actual comic book
hmm
series. So a lot of that story, or the hinting of that story, is what kind of fills the gap of Thor Ragnarok. What happened to the Hulk between Civil War, or so after Age of Ultron
hmm
to Thor Ragnarok. So listen to that review of that. That kind of helps bridge the gap of that in terms of theory. We will so we will cover that. But for this one, Evie, general thoughts, impressions. What do you think?
Um, Ragnarok. First, I hated it. There
Mhm.
were, everything went everywhere. There was, I just found it hard to actually, um, there was too much um, going on for me, too much happening. But after like watching it, maybe the third time, I really liked it. Like you found out Asgard,
Mhm.
like a whole bunch of stuff was actually happening. I found it hard to follow, but after watching it again, that there was something was actually happening. Wasn't just a whole bunch of aliens going here, going there. There was an actual story. Um, s- they were trying to save their homeland. So it had a purpose, and I really liked it better, definitely, than the first time for me.
Well, if you think about it, this is the third Thor film. So, like, out of the
Right.
3 films, so like, how do you gauge this with the other Thor films? Then, is this the worst out of the 3? You find because do you like Dark World more than this one, or
No, I didn't like Dark World, actually.
Mhm.
I liked this film better. It had like a focus and a point to it,
Mhm.
not just people running around stabbing each other or trying to save this person.
Mhm.
I really liked it a lot better,
Okay.
uh, because, like I said, because the first one I really liked, the second, but this movie served a purpose for me,
Right.
and that's just my thoughts. It was going somewhere rather than when I watched it the first time. It was just there. Anyway, yeah. So this third one served a purpose, and that's why I really liked it.
They kind of straight played it sort of straight, like it was more Shakespearean in the first one, and
hmm
the second one's a little bit more, well, different.
Right.
Um, I thought like this one was more funny. Like I guess, I mean, Taika Waititi does like What We Do in the Shadows. I mean, he wrote and directed
hmm
that.
Oh
He's the
wow,
voice
cool.
for Korg. I mean, like
hmm
humor is in his DNA, so he could write comedy. And even like the one with Hitler, the guy, I forgot the
hmm
movie, Bunny. I can't remember the name, but like he knows how to use satire and dramatic beats to but still have a great deal of comedy in his writing and his storytelling, and you're laughing and you're having a great time watching this. However, looking back on it, like in terms of the big picture, looking at this now, it's a Pyrrhic victory. This entire
hmm
film is it's almost uh, it's not sad, but it's you're laughing and enjoying it, like the adventures. But it's for Thor, his entire journey from the first Thor film till we get to Infinity War. The entire journey for him in the MCU has been strictly a Pyrrhic victory.
hmm
In the first one, he well, okay, he's banished. So okay, so I'll go from Dark World. Dark World, he loses his mother. You
Mhm.
know, in the second one, he loses a whole lot more. He loses his hammer Milnor. Uh,
Mhm.
he loses his father. His father goes into is in a like. Well, the second one ends up with his father being missing. You find out
Mhm.
he's in a senior's home. He's losing
Yeah.
over like dementia kind of character, and the father dies. So in real life, it's like when your parents are like ill, mental
Mhm.
illness, dementia, and
Mhm.
then of course they're passing. You have
Mhm.
that kind of moment in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's sort of a sad moment where they're out there in the open with his fathers and sons.
Mhm.
Which is sort of sad. He loses his best friends are killed. The Warriors
Mhm.
Three, like they're
Mhm.
killed. He loses an eye.
Yeah.
Half he loses. Many of his subjects are missing or
True.
gets killed off.
True.
He loses his hair, gets cut off, like his vanity,
Yeah.
like what his pride gets taken out.
Right. Right.
His
Yeah.
homeland gets lost, is destroyed.
Mhm.
Like it's like the, the in his victory, if you want to call it that, he loses
Mhm.
along the way. There is nothing in it where he's on top. Really, he
Right.
suffered like
Yeah.
every inch of the way he's gone. He suffered,
Okay.
kidnapped, enslaved. Like just you think about like where he's gone, like from the
Mhm.
second one to Infinity War, and in
Yeah.
Infinity
You're right.
War, and even at the end when we see the post credit scenes where we meet Bridges with Thanos'
Mhm.
character,
Mhm.
like this is no spoiler alert, half his people gets killed off or wiped
Mhm.
out. So he
Okay.
loses even more so, and
Mm.
so and then of course when the snap happens, whatever half of that is even half of that. So
Exactly. Oh wow.
he constantly losing, and then of course it's by his fault, literally his fault. He didn't aim for the head, so like he
Mhm.
like his whole journey it's been pure. Like it is a Shakespearean tragedy. Like
Mhm.
every step of the way, it's the most he has the most dire future outcome. Like if you're
Mhm.
what do you call it? People who read your horoscope would tell you. Nostradamus. What do you call it? Nostradamus? Um, people
What he
people who can see your future. What do you call them? Psychics.
palm readers?
Yeah, palm readers, psychics, people who
Yeah.
can like picture your future. If you can like read his palm and predict his future and tell him the story, like this is your life, it's gonna
Mhm.
be like one of the worst
Yeah.
story lives like journeys you'll ever experience. Like your
Okay.
journey to survive, your journey at the end won't be a fruitful one. There's a lot of
Mhm.
loss in your journey, a
I
tremendous
got you.
loss, and
Yeah,
and
you're
um,
right.
and the only time you get to realize that is when he talks to Rocket in Infinity War, and
Mhm.
it's like the realization that oh my gosh, my life is just bad. I almost said the bad
Yeah.
word,
Okay.
but the funny thing is the way it's done. It's so funny. So
Mhm.
that's what I loved about this. This was such a great, like, just such a strange way of going about. Like you're laughing and having such a great time, but like no, this guy's every inch, every step of the way, every step forward, he's taking three steps back, and his life is just it's harsh. It's hard. It's one of the hardest
Mhm.
journeys of any of the heroes he has to go through, and it's one of the characters that you don't even have the most respect for. But looking
Mhm.
back on it, no, it's an interesting character study of what this guy has gone through, more so than Tony Stark or
Mhm.
Captain America or even the side characters. His journey is tremendous in this. It's like the Trojan horse effect, where it's like you're looking at it for one thing, but realistically you're exposed to something else, and you don't even know it. That's the sleight of hand magic that Taiko did in his film. So I thought that was amazing.
That's yeah. Yeah. Still good movies.
Yeah,
Sad but good.
yeah. If you were to tell me, you know what, we'd be watching a third Thor movie and still be totally like thinking it's even better, or just reimagining itself to be even more than what it was going into it,
Mhm.
I would say you're out of your mind. You're crazy. But like, it's just, I took a moment and thought about, wow, there's a three movies in it. Three. I mean, I never thought we'd see three Thor movies at this point.
Mhm.
And of course, there's a fourth one, Love and Thunder, is coming out next year.
Yeah.
So and that's taking a whole different dynamic to it. So I thought that was just impressive. So,
Mhm.
and that will end our show. So with that, I'm going to say I'm Ray.
And I'm heavy.
We'll talk to you later.